I'd like to welcome everyone to the May 11, 2020 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting at 5 p.m. Could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Carol, would you do a roll call, please?
Mayor Judith Sheets.
Here.
Mark Mitchell.
Here.
Megan Sheets.
Here. Okay, next on the agenda is the minutes. Did we have two sets of minutes? Is that correct?
We do. We had a special meeting on April 22nd.
I move
We also included.
that we approve the minutes on April 22nd, 2020.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Mark Mitchell.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Minutes passed. Is there another or something? Okay.
Yes, and I'll also make a motion that we accept the minutes of April 27th, 2020, the regularly scheduled Board of Works meeting.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Judith Sheets.
Aye.
Mark Mitchell.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Minutes from the April 27th meeting are approved as read. Is there any public comments? Do we have anything up there? Okay. And did we have anything, Annie?
No.
Nothing came in. Okay. Next on the agenda, we have department reports. The first report will be the Community Development Director, Annie Bacon.
Thank you, Mayor. I have one item tonight. Part of the governor's plan for reopening Indiana included a requirement that employers develop a plan to implement measures and institute safeguards to ensure safe environment for employees and their customers. This plan is to be provided to employees and staff and posted publicly. So that is the page that you have in front of you. Once this is approved, we will get it out to all the department heads so that they can post it in their departments and share it with their employees. And it has been approved by legal. Part of our employee or our packet includes this plan, our city sick leave plan, our symptom guidelines. So there is more behind the scenes to this, but as far as what's required by the governor, this meets those requirements.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you.
I would entertain a motion to pass this safeguard plan.
I'll make a motion that we pass the safeguard plan as presented in guidance with the governor's orders.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Mark Mitchell.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Safeguard plan passes effective May 11th, 2020.
Thank you. I'll make sure it gets sent to the department heads.
Okay, thank you, Annie. Okay, next on the agenda is a police department. Is Scott with us?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to?
The first, I don't know if it's, you want to do the resolution first, but it's, I believe it's 2004, explain the cell phones that we have. We've upgraded cell phones late last year. We paid a penny for the cell phones through AT&T. They are not refurbished. They are old and lack a sufficient battery card. So I've asked that they, after checking with AT&T, the value of them, we arrived at the $40 price to be able to sell these cell phones to employees.
Does anyone have any questions for Scott on this resolution?
No.
I don't have anything.
Is there anything else that we need to know? Okay, I would entertain a motion to pass resolution 20-04.
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution 20-04.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Mark Mitchell.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Resolution 20-04 passes 3-0. Scott, did you have anything else for us this evening?
Yeah, but to just acknowledge that it's Police Week, National Police Week. This week we take the time to honor those who've been killed in the line of duty in 2019 and also and before that. But we also take the time to remember Amos Hamilton, who was killed as a Frankfort police officer in 1929. The code enforcement applications are still open and coming in until Friday, and I've received a resignation from Hernan Cruz. I don't know if you need to officially put that on the record, but his last date will be on May 15th, 2020. We had the hiring process on Saturday that you approved, and we were able to separate the applicants into 3 different groups. So I thank the officers who normally we just run everybody through the same time, so it was a longer day on Saturday, but we had a successful date on that, our event with that. And then starting on May 18th, we start a 2-week process to change all of our body cameras, our car cameras, and our interview rooms with the body cameras. So we're going to be fairly busy that process. And then, Mayor, I don't know if Bart is on the phone. You can talk about the Parks Department, but I've had complaints of the softball, baseball being played at the 3rd Street Park the last 2 Sundays. With just as it was like there was no COVID-19 going on, they said it was back. And so we have signed it up, but maybe Bart has contact with that league so we can shut that down.
Bart, are you on the call?
Yes, I am. I can do that.
Okay, thank you. I do think that we probably need to approve the resignation of Hernan effective May 15th. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, we should probably make a motion to accept that resignation.
I'll make a motion that we accept the resignation of Code Enforcement Officer Cruz effective May 15, 2020.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Mark Mitchell,
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
The resignation has been approved by the Board of Works. Another thing, Scott, that you didn't mention, that we have decided this year not to do anything for the Police Week with the COVID-19 situation and the precautions that we're taking. But I think we're going to look towards maybe next year. Is that correct, Scott?
Yes. Yeah, my apologies. We, due to the virus and having people congregate, we just felt it was best to, we'll have a smaller, in our department, kind of a reflection. But this year, instead of inviting the public to Veterans Park or the police department, we're not going to do that. So next year, we'll plan something, hopefully maybe at the Prairie Creek Park or the police station.
Okay, thank you. And I do want to thank all the police officers for what they do for the city. We really do appreciate them. Does anybody else have anything for Scott?
No.
Okay. Next on the agenda, Fire Department. John Kirby, are you with us?
Yes, I am, Mayor. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, fine. I know it looks like I got a lot on the agenda, but I promise you it'll be quick.
Okay.
Okay. First, I wanted to ratify our new hire, Zane Cook, start date. As of it was Saturday, May the 9th. You swore him in on May the 8th, and Zane has completed all of his paperwork for HR. And I just wanted to make that official to the Board of Works meeting on today.
I believe the last time that we approved that, what was the other date that we approved? Do you remember, May?
It was going to be May the 12th, but after analyzing the crews and stuff, due to Craig Rellage's retirement, right now the short crew was A crew, so we thought, well, we were starting on A crew for a few weeks until we get that lieutenant position filled. So that's why we changed that start date, just to help our numbers on A crew.
Okay, thank you. Would someone like to make a motion so that we can ratify the date?
Does that date change affect any payroll or anything like that?
That'll be good.
May 9th is the start of the date.
Okay.
So that really works out well for us.
Okay.
Yes, I'll make a motion that we ratify Zane Cook's start date to be reflecting May 9th of 2020.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Mark Mitchell.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
That motion passes to ratify Zane Cook's start date for May the 9th, 2020. Okay, John, we're ready to move on.
Okay, and also I have, I gave you guys in your packet, Zane signed his fire department training reimbursement sheet, and this also has to be signed by the mayor and the board of works. So I didn't know if that was something you guys were able to do today. Basically, this is just stating if Zane would go elsewhere or quit on us here in the next year, 2-3 years, that there would be some money that Zane would have to pay back to the city for uniforms and training.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to pass the training reimbursement that's going to be signed off by Zane and also by the Board of Works.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, Zane's already signed his.
Okay,
Okay.
Mayor.
Is this a first time occurrence for this document, Chief, or is this something that's been ongoing?
Sorry, was you talking to me, Megan?
Yes. Is this just a standard operating procedure for your new hires? Or is this the first occurrence you've had this document?
No, this is a standard operating procedure. Every firefighter hired has to sign this,
Okay,
and then it just goes into their personnel file in the HR department.
sure, thank you. I just wanted to be sure. It's my first time in looking one of these over, so thank you for that clarification. Given that, I'll
Okay.
make a motion that we accept the reimbursement form completion of Zane Cook, and we'll sign off as Board of Works members.
I'll second.
roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Mark Mitchell.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
That motion passes 3-0. Okay, John, we're ready for the quotes for the laptops.
Okay, the quote for the laptop is through ProBuy. There's just 3 quotes on 3 different types of computers. After talking to our guy here who takes care of all our computers, he says the cheaper one at $650, the quote number 3, would be sufficient for what we need this for. This computer will this laptop will be for our division captain, a special operations training officer. He'll be able to keep records and do PowerPoint and other trainings on this computer. So my recommendation on these 3 quotes is to go with the cheaper one at $650, if that's okay with you guys. And we would take this, since we're trying to stay away from the city general right now. I have a line item in FireQ, computers and videos. I would like to take that out of that category.
Does anybody have any questions for John on that?
Is this computer going to be stationary or is it going to be mounted?
Sorry, Mark, I could not hear that.
Is this computer going to be stationary or is it going to be mounted in a vehicle?
It'd be a laptop, so he'd be able to he could use it like in his office or in the classroom. It's not a take-home computer unless he had just something he was putting PowerPoint together or something that he had to finish up for training.
Okay, is this a ruggedized computer?
What? I'm sorry, Mark.
Is this a ruggedized computer or just a standard off-the-shelf computer?
Oh, it's just a standard laptop. Nothing special. It just, like I said, it has everything that's on this. It's sufficient for what we're going to be using it for. It won't be any use for anything other than the training for special operations.
Okay, thank you.
maybe to text and email.
Would anyone like to make a motion to accept that purchase?
I'll make a motion that we accept as submitted the ProBite quote number 3 for $650 for a laptop for the fire department.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Mark Mitchell,
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
We approved the $650 quote, John, for that computer from ProBuy.
Okay, I appreciate that. I apologize, I'm not able to hear you guys very well. And I'd also like to ratify the appointment of firefighter Jeff Moore to the Special Operations Division Captain. For that appointment.
Does anyone have any questions for John on that?
John, this is Megan. I'll be honest that in our last Board of Works meeting, we were going to proceed with the appointment, with your process for appointment of lieutenant position. But I don't remember hearing a request to move forward with the division captain appointment. Was this?
As far as the division captain, it's not a line officer's position. So it's more of like an appointment from the fire chief to be our training officer. We did have 4 guys put in for this. We had interviews with these guys and went through that process. We didn't have any testing or anything that nature because it is just it's a training position. All 4 guys who put in for it are qualified for this position. We, went with our interviews and picked who we thought was the best fit for this position for our department.
Okay, again, thank you for that clarification. I'd like to make a motion that we approve your recommendation for Jeff Moore as the division captain.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Mark Mitchell,
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
That motion passes 3-0.
Okay, thank you. Another one more thing, Jeff is going to be basically conducting his first training tomorrow at the Hannah Kessler Open Drain, which is located on the corner of Clinton and Hope. We got a call from Dan Skeet the other day wanting to know if we could run a confined space training and go into this confined space and take some pictures for him as a surveyor and bring back out. And I gave you guys a copy of some pictures that was taken, looks like in 2000, just to give you an idea where our guys, what they're going to be doing. These pictures were taken in 2018. So tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., we were going to be down on the corner doing confined space training and helping out the county as far as getting some pictures for them in the process. And I just kind of wanted to let you guys know that in case anybody sees us out there, they might have some questions. I was going to get some pictures for Annie to put up on our Facebook page and things of that nature. And we're going to try to keep the guys, 6 feet apart, social distancing, so everybody's safe.
Does anyone have any questions for John on that?
No, thanks for the information.
Yeah. Thank you, John. Be safe.
Okay. All right. I have one more thing, and I will be done. I promise. You guys should have a copy of the Center Township 2020 fire contract there. We, for some reason, failed to get that signed through the last administration, and the mayor and I talked about this along with the clerk treasurer and the new Center Township trustee. Not really sure what happened. I take the blame for it, but anyways, contract, we've been fulfilling this contract without it being signed. We still cover their territory, we still use their trucks, and the payment that they have on that contract is actually $80,000 that will be sent to our leasing for the purchase of the 2014 pumper. That's what they've done the last 2 or 3 years, and that's what we verbally agreed to with Kevin Evans. And like I said, I'm not 100% sure how this did not get signed, but with having a new mayor and a board of works and a new Center Township trustee, I told the mayor it's probably not a bad idea for you guys to look at it and sign it anyway. So I was wanting to see if, through this public meeting, if we could get that signed, then I would take it down to Jamie, Center Township trustee, and then she will sign it and get it to her board as well.
And I believe, is this the last year on the truck payment?
Yes, yep, it will, and it will be officially ours.
That's what I thought, okay. Was someone,
John, this is Les. Do you
Hey,
have
Les.
you have that contract in front of you there? I assume you do.
Yes, I do.
I just had a little trouble with clarity in paragraph 3 down at the bottom of the first page. That second line that
On the first,
on the first page, paragraph 3, second line says, but in no event shall less than 4 firefighters be employed under the new existing contract between said township and said city, may hire such additional firefighters. I guess who hires any additional firefighters? What's the intent there?
well, I mean, all the firefighters that are hired through the Franklin Fire Department. Let me read this.
It just doesn't flow correctly, I think, in that second, third line.
It's hard for me to understand you, Les. So I'm not 100%.
It says in the second line, about halfway through, it starts, but in no event shall less than 4 firefighters be employed under the now existing contract between said township and said city, may hire. Where it says may hire, I don't know if that's supposed to be another sentence starting or somebody may hire. Is it supposed to say the city may hire additional firefighters or something?
Yes. That's what it means, I believe, that the city can hire additional firefighters.
Well, then we probably need to put a period at the end of city there, and then insert the city may hire such additional firefighters.
Okay.
And then for insurance purposes, I assume that our insurance carrier knows of this arrangement or will. Can you hear me, John?
Yeah. What was that again?
We just want to make sure that we have the insurance people on board for liability purposes. with
Oh,
this
yeah,
arrangement.
they are.
Okay,
Yes.
so you want a motion to approve this fire protection contract with that small cosmetic change we just made to paragraph 3?
Yes.
Okay,
And it's like September 1st is when that 80,000 is due, like I said. So no money's actually hadn't changed hands as of right now.
the way they've done that in the past, John, is they pay directly to the leasing company, to the bank, and then the city just pays their portion.
Yeah, they send
I
it
think that is
straight
part
to the
of-
leasing company.
Mhm. So it really doesn't
They would
pass
send
through
it-
the city. Does anyone have any other questions?
Yeah. I mean, if you want me to come up and see Les tomorrow with this before you guys sign up, I can do that.
I think we can just write it in.
Because you guys keep cutting out, so it's kind of hard for me to understand what you're saying.
So
Like I said, I
Signature
apologize
page is
for that.
separate.
yeah, the signature page is separate, so we can either just write it in, just right here.
Yeah. We'll write it in and somebody can initial it.
Okay. That works.
Period after city, and then the sentence begins, the city may hire.
I'll sign off on
Okay.
it.
Yes.
So I entertain a motion to go ahead and accept this contract with Center Township.
I'll make a motion that we accept the Center Township Fire Protection Contract with the changes in paragraph 3 as mentioned by the city attorney.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Mark Mitchell,
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
The fire protection contract with Center Township passes 3-0.
All right, thank you. And will that be with, Clerk Treasurer tomorrow?
Yes, she'll have it tomorrow, and then you'll get the signatures as well, right? And
What's
then
that?
you'll get the signatures from Center Township and then get
Yeah.
a copy back to us, please.
Yep,
Okay,
yes. If I can pick that up from the Clerk Treasurer's office tomorrow, then I will take it, to Center Township.
okay, that sounds good. Thank you, John.
All right, thank you.
Did you have anything else?
No, that's it. I apologize it took so long. How are you guys?
We're well, thank you.
Just, I just have three things. First thing I want to go over with the Board of Works is just to let you know in reference to our paving this year, we are going to advertise for bids on May 22nd and May 29th. Then hopefully open the bids, at Board of Works on June the 8th of 2020. And then obviously after the bids are awarded, then I would send notification to MDOT, let them know who the contractor was. So we'd advertise two dates of May 22nd, 29th, and then hopefully open, on the June 8th Board of Works meeting. I believe we have a meeting that day.
Jason, this is last. Who's preparing the notice to bidders?
Yes.
Who is preparing the notice to bidders?
Yeah, we're getting that taken care of, Les.
Okay.
Who's doing that? Remind me again.
Usually Milestone will send us a draft and we'll look at it and either make some changes or approve it.
Right, yeah. I've got that taken care of through BF&S this year,
Okay,
and I'm just waiting on them to email me the information. And then I will obviously send out those opportunities to use with Milestone, Reed Riley. Then I've had another couple of companies, Fox Paving,
well,
since we're doing rejuvenation.
we want to publish that too, don't we?
Yes, we need to publish that as well.
And the Board of Works needs to approve the form of the notice to bidders before it goes out.
Okay. We can do that. He's getting that prepared right now, so when that happens, I'll get it taken care of.
Sounds
I'll
good.
probably just bring that. Well, we'll get it taken care of. I'll have to talk to him and see when that's happening, because the next Board of Works is 25th.
26.
It's 3 days after we were supposed to post it first, so I'll work on it.
Okay, could we always ratify that, Les, once we get it set up? See, we're not gonna meet again until the 26th. And you're wanting to advertise it May 22nd, 29th?
We won't be able to if we can't get it approved until the 25th, so we'll just have to push those back a couple.
Okay,
So what you're telling me is that what BF&S puts together has to be approved by the Board of Works before we can advertise. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have on that. Does anybody have any questions on the paving side? We'll do this later.
No questions.
Okay, I think we're good, Jason.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
Just also, yeah, I got two other things. May 18th, we're going back to starting to collect glass department. We haven't been doing that, since we reopened back up, today. We just been doing recycle, at the gate. So starting May 18th, we'll be back to recycling out back, sorting through it by hand and taking glass. So I put a notice like that on Facebook to kind of let people know we'd be starting to take glass, because we were getting several questions about glass and on Facebook. So I wanted to kind of let people know what date we were going to do that with. Annie, if you want to do something sometime this week, that's fine as well. But I figured we better get something up before too late, because I'm getting several questions on it.
Not a problem.
And then the last thing I want to check with the Board of Works on is just to see if it's okay for me to start looking for quotes for an F-250 that I was approved for through the budget for capital improvement. That'll come out of MVH. I got to start getting quotes for that. Obviously, nobody's building vehicles right now with the COVID issue, and if I can get the order in, get the quotes approved by the Board of Works, then I can get, if this, our vehicle kind of gets in it, start being scheduled. Because I'll need that. That was bought to pull the new police machine that will start, obviously sometime in October. I just wanted to see if it was okay to go ahead and start getting quotes for that vehicle.
It looks like the fund balance is in good shape. I think we'd probably be okay. And we should be getting, an advanced tax draw, so I say we probably are okay if you guys are okay with that.
We wouldn't be paying for this for quite a while anyway, because it'll probably take a good month and a half, 2 months for it to even arrive.
Does that need to be in the form of a motion?
This is for what kind of vehicle, Jason?
This is for an F-250 that we'll be using, approved in our equipment for MVH, for our capital improvement plan.
Are you getting state bids through those?
Normally less in the past, and I'm sure Scott can probably agree. Normally, the state bid is actually higher than we can usually get here locally.
Okay, well, what do you think the price will be? What's the value?
We're probably looking at about 30,000.
Okay, I think we'd be okay with the three quotes sent out, but that they really need to be returned in a sealed envelope and opened and read aloud for that amount if it's over the 25, I think. So I can prepare a request for quotes for you if you give me the specifications.
Okay, I can do that. I can do that, no problem.
All right, and then Jason, on that paving, how much are you looking at spending on the paving this year in that package?
Well, you want the entire amount, what the state gave us, or just what the city is putting out?
What the city's putting out?
Be $221,240.50.
Okay, yeah, so we want to advertise that one.
And then we'll get the state money into our funds, so the total project's gonna be over 400.
And then the state will match that less, obviously.
Okay. Are you good on that? Okay. You have anything else for us, Jason?
That is it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Building Services, Don Stock.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I want to thank you, the board, for allowing all my office workers to be coming to work. It has made a huge difference in our office, as the coronavirus has not slowed down any type of permitting going on in the city of Frankfort. So thank you very much for for me and my staff for allowing them all to be here. In front of you, you should have had 2 permit extension requests. I'll go over these real quick. The first one is from Jesus Cruz. Jesus is doing a little remodeling at his house. It's a dining room, kitchen, bathroom, living room, and a laundry room. How this process works is Daniel goes out when these permits come due, and we see how far along, what kind of progress they've made, and if they've made good enough progress to extend it, then we come back and ask you guys to do that. And in this case, Jesus has done a great job, and he's requested another 90 days, and that should finish his project. The second one is a permit the first one is 309 East Morrison Street in Frankfurt. The second one is 1152 McKinley Avenue. It's owned by Eva Santillan Mejia, but it's Gustavo Valdez that lives there who's actually doing the work. It started out as a 40 by 30 detached garage, and that's no longer detached. It's going to be an attached garage. And he's made a lot of progress on that also. And we've asked permission to extend his permit another 90 days.
Wes, I have a question. Are we limited on the number of days that we can allow on an extension? I mean, this seems like a long extension, but.
No.
Okay, we're okay. Okay.
Can we approve them as a package, or do we need to address them individually?
You can do it as a package if you're comfortable presenting it that way.
Thanks for the detailed information, and I move that we approve both requests for an extension of 90 days each.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Mark Mitchell.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Motion passes, and the approval of the permit extensions for 90 days to 309 East Morrison and 1152 McKinley Avenue.
Thank you very much. Quickly going over April permits. We should be very proud of our citizens as they look to be social distancing, as out of the 70 permits, 13 were fences. So I think that people are separating and doing well, so we're appreciative of that. We thought 70 permits was a lot for a month of April during the coronavirus, but I was told that our numbers are down from last year, so maybe a little disappointed in that. We've collected $2,335 in permits for the month of April, and the valuation that through the electrical, street cuts, occupancy, driveway, sidewalks, swimming pools, all the things that are listed on there, the valuation is about $233,000 worth of buildings that's been going on in the month of April. We have the update on the city 50/50 plan on the sidewalks. We've got 5 completed, 3 have been approved, 5 are waiting, and most of them now have been on the approved side. And so that will just about finish up. We'll have a little over $1,100 left over. And so what we'll do is, as permits come in, or not permits, but as requests come in, anything under the $1,100 we'll try to get in. But if not, then we could be done for the year on the sidewalks. The composters have done a great job. I don't know if you've seen any of the sidewalks they've done, but man, they are rock solid in what they do, and we're very thankful that they've been out doing the job. Daniel goes out, inspects before they do the sidewalk, and then inspects afterwards, so that we make sure that they're AD accessible and everything is required by ADA is complete. I want to give you an update on 3 properties, and I'll be through. 7 West Mackenzie Street is a property that we've had a long time challenge with. Matter of fact, we thought we were going to go to court with it, but that has now been put into the hands of a property group called Safeguard, who has asked Permajack of Louisville. They're a sanitizing organization that comes in and sanitizes the house, and it needed it, and cleans it all up. We've asked that we get to be able to go inside that house once they get the project done, to make sure that there's anything inside that needs to be fixed or updated. The property could be going in through foreclosure. and it may be a Fannie Mae project, so it doesn't mean that anything that they suggest gets done may not get done. It depends on the bank or the overseer of the project, but we'll stay on top of that and try to continue to keep that moving. But we're very, very thankful that one, we don't have to go to court or look to tear the house down. It's now going to be able to be put into use. We've had a couple of people that have actually called about the house to see if they could get into and purchase that house, and we will pass that along to Safeguards in case they want to have that information with them when it's time for the property to be potentially moved on. We're also working at 1001 East Clinton Street. This property is owned by Don Marr Equities. We've had a meeting with Don Rapp today about the property. We asked if we could go inside. We wanted to make sure that the structure could be potentially fixed, maybe, as we're down to two options on this property. We've spoken to both Don Rapp and the attorney Christine Jacobson, and we believe that we're in a two-option program. One, the property be rehabbed, or two, that they're looking at the potential of abandonment of the property so that we can bring it into the hands of the hearing authority that we're going to put back together to see if we can get the property tore down. Daniel's been in. I'm not going to discuss what we've decided after that meeting yet because we've not talked to Don Rapp about it. So we'll talk to Dan or Don, and we'll get back with you on that property. The last property that we're working on several, but these are the three that are on the top of the list right now. 954 West Barner Street. This is owned by Alton and Noma Graves. They're both deceased. There's no ownership of the property. I've spoken with both Jerry and Larry Graves about this property. It has caught fire. It's been dormant for a very long period of time. Well, October of 2019, we're looking to see if we can get in and get that house tore down and place our fees onto on the liens of the property. So that's where we are with that. And I've not spoken a lot with Les on 954. We've talked a little bit about it, but we'll get in contact with him depending on how 1001 goes on Clinton Street. If both houses end up being tore down, we'll try to run those through at the same time at the hearing board if that's possible. Any questions? If not, I'm finished.
Don, that 7 West McKenzie Street is one we've been working on for, I think, a year and a half. It's been a real horrible situation down there.
Yep.
And the foreclosure suit was finally filed by Regions Bank. And I filed an appearance and an answer, because we have a court case pending too. So they notified, and we have, because of that, they notified the city and joined the city as a party defendant to the foreclosure suit. So I was able to file an answer, and I've set out all that in the answer. So they're not going to get their foreclosure decree unless the city's going to be satisfied, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I know that there's another gal with Safeguard that had called me and wanted to know why we had condemned the property. What happened was one of the persons who was interested in buying the property drives by it, sees that the door's been open and people are inside it. Well, they're not supposed to be. The property's been condemned. Nobody's allowed to go into a property that's been condemned unless they notify the building inspector's office. So I go down to find out what's going on because I have no idea. And when we find out that they're sanitizing and cleaning the house, well, I'm tickled to death about all that because, the last thing we want to do is spend city money to tear a house down that can be put back onto the tax property and rock and roll. So that then got information, made phone calls, did some follow-ups. They got in touch with me. So we're pretty excited about where we are with this. And I want you to know that our intent is not to try to tear buildings down. Our intent is to try to get them back on the tax roll. And so we're working with landlords, property by property. We're not pushing any kind of a button on anybody. We've actually been very successful with a landlord down on 2nd Street, get a new roof on it. It had 5 layers of roofing on it. And they've got it all stripped down, a metal roof put on. They've done a great job. And so we're working to try to get these homes updated, restructured, back into place, and lined up. And coming in front of the zoning board next week is a apartment that was 5 apartments that a company out of Lafayette bought from a landlord here in town. it's not zoned properly, so they're coming to get zoned. They removed one of the apartments out of it. It's now a 4-apartment complex. It needs to be rezoned. They asked me why we're doing it. Why are we doing it now? And I said, well, we want things to be done right. We're protecting you because it's illegal, and we want to make it legal. So these are the things that we're working very, very hard on. And one of the things that allow us to do that now is everybody's back to work. We've divided our office into halves. So Ashley and Daniel work very, very hard on the property side of things. Susie and I work hard on this side of ordinances and property maintenance where we fit in. A lot of property maintenance goes down to the police department, but rezoning and permits is what her and I do, and it's a full-time job. So that's why I'm saying we're very thankful for allowing everybody to get back to work. We're actually functioning as a good office right now, and I think that we're moving along very well. So thank you.
Thank you, Don. And thank you for what all you've done for the city and your staff as well. Sounds like you're busy. Okay, next up, Parks Department. Bart, are you with us?
Yes, I am. So the main thing I have today for you is I know with the COVID going on, we are trying to save as much money as possible. However, I do have 2 sloths here at the zoo that do not have an enclosure. The zoo purchased the animals last year, and they've been in the bird barn. We would like to start getting their enclosure built this week if possible. We do have it in our budget. I have a line item. It's our building and structures line item. I currently have about $16,000 in that account, and I've budgeted this project for about $3,000. So what I ask of the board is allow me to use $3,000 of our budget on that project, and I would like to start it as soon as possible.
Does anyone have any questions for Bart on that? Mark?
Bart's Mark Mitchell. If you take that money out of your building and structures, is that going to cut you short on any other projects that you're aware of?
Can you repeat that last thing, Mark?
If you take the $3,000 out of your building and structures, will that cut you short on any other projects that you have pending?
No. The only other ongoing project we have is a break room expansion project, and we're well under budget on that right now, so we shouldn't run into any issues.
Okay, thank you.
Megan, did you have anything for me?
No, I appreciate the email that was sent to all of us, and I agree. I think this is important for the viability of the sloths, and they have a proper shelter. And so I'll make a motion that we approve your recommendation of the $3,000 expenditure.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Mark Mitchell,
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
That motion passes 3-0. So Bart, you can get started on your sloth enclosure.
And Bart,
Thank you very much.
yeah, remember those building materials are exempt from sales tax when you go buy those if you take the city's number with you.
I'm sorry, Les, I couldn't understand you.
That one didn't work very well. Yes, he said, just remember when you go to buy the materials, that those are tax exempt. I don't know if you're gonna stay in town, but Gilman's should know that for us. But if you go out of town for any of your parts, you need to remember that that is tax exempt.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the only other thing I wanted to let the board know is we did receive almost all of the Burger Creek Park plants and trees. So Rehop does have one last delivery to do for us due to a section of plants that were not ready yet. We do have everything else here at CPA, and we received it all fine. We've got it all protected, and I think everything is going to work out just fine with it.
Just in time for the freeze.
Yeah. So Barb, do you think those plants are gonna make it till we're ready for planting at Prairie Creek Park?
Oh yeah, they'll be fine.
Can you, okay. Have you heard anything as to when Travis is gonna come back to help us with that?
I have not heard anything regarding that.
Okay. Yeah, Annie.
My understanding is that he's planning to be back in town on May 26th to start planning.
Okay.
Okay,
You have anything
and
else?
so we're just getting ready for the season. We've got our magpie cages built. We cleaned out the pond and the waterfall this weekend, or this past week. So if you guys come past the aviary, it's just about to have all the birds out there here this at the end of this week or early next week. So it should start looking really cool.
Okay, but do you have the aviary closed off, correct?
Yes, we are not planning to open that until November, so that weekend.
Okay. That's the petting zoo and the aviary, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And then if all goes well, we're planning on the playground equipment opening on the 24th of this month, along with the restrooms at all the parks.
And that sounds great. And we do have a plan for when we open the playgrounds. We will be going through and sanitizing all the playground stuff with different types of sprayers that we have. So we do have a cleaning protocol ready to go when things are ready to.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Does anyone have anything for Bart?
No, nothing further.
No.
Okay. I think we're good. Thank you, Bart.
Thank you, folks.
Next up is the human resources. We have a couple things. I don't know, Cheryl, Caitlin, who's,
Caitlin's actually gonna talk to both of these. She's worked with Tristan at the Y on a program that they're putting together, and also our temperature reading protocol that she's gonna present to you.
So the temperature reading protocol kind of just piggybacks off of the governor's requirement for safety to return back to work. They gave you 3 options that you need to ask or do for employees every day. One being a questionnaire on their symptoms, and one being just outright asking them if they have any symptoms. And the safest option is taking their temperatures every day. So all of the departments, thanks to EMS, have been provided with no-touch thermometers. And we will be in touch with department heads and secretaries to make sure that they're doing that at the start of every shift. There's a couple of guidelines. It has to be non-discriminatory, so everyone has to be tested and no one should be tested. So it will have to be every single employee. And then we will keep track of them and keep them in the HR office on a password protected Excel spreadsheet, because it is going to be treated as medical information for our employees. So whoever they designate at the departments to take the temperatures will write them down on a sheet of paper, send it to our office, and then afterwards we will shred the paperwork. And 100.4 degrees or higher is the cutoff, and after that they'll have to follow quarantine measures that we already have in place. So that's just information on how we're going to handle that.
did all the departments get their thermometers?
I'm not sure. I can get in touch with Greg Miller to make sure he's passed out
Okay.
once to every single
And
department.
make sure that every department gets at least one.
Yes.
Anybody have any questions for Caitlin on that?
No, would it be the department head's responsibility to contact EMS or?
I'll contact Greg Miller myself. He's the one who was passing them out, and I'll make sure that he specifically said too that he was going to make sure that the utility departments had them as well. So I would assume that he's already gotten to all of the city departments, but I'll double check.
Okay.
Okay, and then the YMCA, Tristan at the Y, she is the CEO at our Clinton County YMCA, contacted me, and they're trying to get with businesses because they have been shut down, and they do understand that people aren't getting their money's worth for their membership payments. So they did contact us because we have a corporate contract with them, and they asked if they could set up a program for our employees through Facebook to keep spirits up and work on health. So they set something up where we could kind of compete as different departments or as individuals for some YMCA products like shirts or water bottles or anything like that. And I know we have discussed too that maybe the winning department we could have a pizza party for. I know health and pizza is kind of, but something to compete for. And so they would have 3 different measurements. People could post if they drink 50 ounces of water and if they do 10 minutes of physical activity each day and they pack a healthy lunch. So Tristan said that they would be fine with running all of that, and they would just have a Facebook group that our employees could join. It would be completely private, so they wouldn't have to worry about the whole public seeing them posting pictures. So we just wanted to make sure that that was something that the board was okay with us pursuing to help out. I know that the Y is going to be opening back up, but this way even non-members can kind of get a taste of what our Y offers and possibly get some more people to sign up through our corporate contract.
And we're not sure when classes are gonna start back up, even though the Y is opening on the 26th. We don't know about fitness classes.
I'm reading through the document. Does it say the timeframe for this particular offer?
I believe they said they would do a 30-day program. That might not be on this, but it was definitely in an email that I received from Tristan. I believe they said over the course of a month, they would keep track of everything.
Okay. It's a generous offer
Yes,
on their part,
it is,
so
definitely.
I would hope we would all be in agreement.
I just think they're very thankful that people haven't canceled their memberships during this time because they obviously still need that money to run everything and pay their employees.
I'm good with that program. What about you?
Yeah, I'm good. Is this something you'll let all the department heads know
Yep.
also?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think probably by consensus.
Okay.
Go ahead with that program.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Les, it's your turn.
I've said my piece.
You don't have anything else? Okay, do we have any unfinished business? Anybody have anything? New business? The only thing I wanted to bring up is, that on May 26th, we'll be meeting on Tuesday instead of the Monday, the May 25th meeting due to the holiday. So, want that change. And then Carol, you'll put that notice out, right?
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have anything else?
Did you approve claims?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I sense we're gonna be approving some claims here shortly. No, I'll make a motion that we approve this evening's claims as presented.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Mark Mitchell,
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Claims are approved. Does anybody have anything else for this evening? If not, I'll adjourn the meeting at 6 o'clock. Thank you.